Guy Fidi, and we'll be joined by Phil Pixel shortly, as we are now at round 3 in Tour Solo. How are you today, Guy?
Everything just fine. We are going to see some interesting action tonight. We have many interesting groups, but we decided that Central Court will be Group D. The reason is quite simple. We have some of the best players in this group, including world champion Jose Pereira, maybe the best player in PCM history. We have the best. We have one of the best players also in Leo Falandri, and we have also some interesting players from both France, Portugal, and Italy, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, we actually have 2 players from France, 2 from Portugal, and 2 from Italy, and then Nacho from Argentina. So definitely spread throughout, but 2 from each of one of the biggest PCM communities for sure. And I'm really excited for today. As you said, we have this Group D, Group of Death, to say, and I do really enjoy the stages that we will have today, as well as we will start with a nice sprint stage. Definitely not for the GC, but getting those stage wins do matter in Tour, as well as we will then have a longer mountain stage from Giro d'Italia, and after that, a really, really difficult hill stage uh, from Charmont to Plan du Bout. A really difficult. It's classified as a puncher stage, but I would almost count it as a mountain stage, as it has a lot of climbs that are not
Mhm.
only steep but also pretty long. And we end today with the uh, really difficult Col d'Es uh, time trial, which has definitely screwed me up a lot of times. I don't know about you, but I really struggle with that one.
Certainly, and as you told us, the third stage is the kind of stage that, as our fellow commentator, the Big Dog, would say, it's the stage that can make you. It cannot make you win, but can make you lose if you are not paying enough attention and you do some mistakes that really damage your possibilities. But yeah, certainly we have a very interesting profile for these 4 stages, and they need to really pay attention not only to the general classification but to the secondary classifications too, as they need to have the best possible result on them to actually pass the round. Of course, winning general classification is 99% sure you are going to pass, but points classification and KOM can save you from elimination when you finish second or third in the general classification.
Yeah, I find that at least the top 2 you're pretty safe, but it's when you end up being third, fourth, that's when you really have to go for the mountain classifications as well as the sprint. So it will be interesting to see what our players do, as we are now also joined by Phil Pixel. Hello, Pixel.
Good evening. Hope you're all
Good
fine.
evening.
Hi, Guy. Hope you're
So,
good.
so Phil Pixel, who is your wild card for today? Who do you think from this group will surprise everyone and pass the round?
I need to take a look at the group. Well, I see Leo, so and Jose. I think one of the two. I
No,
mean,
no,
the
I'm
obvious
sure.
thing.
I'm sure that both of them will probably pass. But what about someone that we are not expecting to pass and actually will do? What is your bet, Phil Pixel?
That's a good question. I think Nacho can do well, as I played in the last one or the first one with him. I think, and he played really good there. He was unlucky there, so I think he can surprise. Probably the most will not have him like as the favorite of the group, but I can see him doing well,
Okay,
going first third.
that's a very bold guess. Okay, interesting. What about you, Morty?
As I saw, he was really annoyed being at 4 odds today. So he is definitely looking to shock some people and to prove the people setting the odds, I wonder who that is, wrong.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can prove that
And
he's higher.
I will
than us.
definitely be rooting for him. I always root for the underdogs, as we also see in Group B, I believe. One of my favorites, Tim Soski, one of a lot of people's favorites, is also at really high odds today. So there are players looking to surprise people.
We have also a very interesting group here because of the difference of playing style. We have people that play in a complete different way from each other, and that is part of the interest of this group. We have Frabble that we know likes to attack, to move, always tries to do something to take the race more exciting. We have very tactical players that know the moment to relay and know the moment to pace, like Leo Falandri or Jose Pereira, the ones that we know are going to pace when they need to and are going to let when they can. And then we have players that just normally don't appear a lot during stages and just try to to follow wheels and get the best possible results, such as Dinley or John Vino, that is kind of that type of player too in road. So yeah, different strategies, different kind of players. I think we have the entire cocktail for an amazing experience tonight.
I do think
You're
so as well.
right.
As you mentioned, John Vino was a late replacement, I believe, in this group. So we'll be interested to see how he'll do here. Have you ever experienced being a late replacement in the World Cup?
I
Does
think
that
I
feel?
think it's some years ago. It was a very important part of the deal, as we had even second chances, so opportunities to come back to the tournament. Not we didn't got out and just were out. No, we always had the second chance to come back to the tournament, and a
Looping
lot of
bracket,
people
yeah.
and a lot of people missed the tournament rounds. So yeah, we saw for example Pithi going, one of the best Spanish players, going eliminated on first round of inline surprisingly, and then just coming back to round two and passing round two, and now he is on round three. I think he was eliminated in round three. Aquarius.
No, he's on to the semifinals.
Oh, he qualified to the semifinals. So you see, he got out on round one, came back as substitute in round two, and now he's on the semifinals. So why not? It's part of the game and part of this history of these World Championships. People coming back to actually get a very good result.
And John Vino is a great player, so I would definitely not be surprised if he gets through tonight.
Yeah, I certainly know everyone knows better John Vino for his track abilities than road abilities. He's world champion of track and considerably one of the best probably one of the three best players in track in PCM history, together with another one that is also here, Jose Pereira. But in road, he certainly is not considered one of the top dogs, but he's a very consistent player and a very experienced player. So anything can happen.
Yes, of course, track is really different to road, but I do think that there are skill sets that you can move over to road, as you need those reaction times for track, definitely, and those can be really useful here as well, especially in a sprint stage like we are going into on this first one.
Yep. And in this first one, of course, a mass sprint is the expected result. But certainly, I will tell you, no, there are many players that will not just sit on the peloton and wait for the sprint. People that are going to try to attack, trying to go and take the KOM, try to go to the intermediate sprint and get the most possible thing. We also have a very interesting choice by the organization, and not a non-conventional choice of putting the time trial in the last moments of in the last stage. That is not a very common experience that I had on PCM tournaments. To be honest, I don't remember the last time that happened. And maybe Aquarius does, because he has more experience in road than I. But this is not a common solution, and it's a very controversial one. So yeah.
Well, I have never played an mountain time trial in nature, obviously in the individual time trial competition, yes, but not in nature.
Yeah, I think
By
it's
the
an
way,
interesting choice to put it in the end, actually. So you have to do something different than just like putting the time trial at the first and everything is set. Like you just have to survive the mountains with the front, but here you have to attack first because you can never be sure if you are good enough in the time trial. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, I think
You
can be
can
nice.
never be sure, but certainly we have some indication from individual time trials. We are sure that people like Leo Falandri really try hard at this time trial to be almost on perfection, but it's not certain, and that is an interesting part. And of course, they will not feel comfortable after the mountain stage, knowing they can lose everything in the trial,
I
in
think
the time trial.
I,
Sorry.
I think our players who aren't experienced with time trials and who don't put in all the practice will be really happy that the last stage isn't La Planche de Belfi, but Col d'Ez, because time gaps on La Planche de Belfi can be like 4 minutes if you do it really badly. So Col d'Ez will be a little easier on our players, I feel, but still, you're never sure with those mountain time trials. There can be really wacky sometimes.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
the gaps won't be too big, like maybe 15 to 20 seconds from the best to worst. But I think if you're in 1-3 of road, you will try that time trial. You will try that a couple of times, so I think the gaps won't be too big. Like
I
there will be
would.
gaps, but not too big.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if we come to the last time trial with maybe 3 or 4 people in the contention for the general classification. Of course, there are people that are going to try to not take it to the to the time trial, namely Jose Pereira. I don't see him doing that, as his style of playing is quite different, and he's probably going to try to achieve the win in general classification before. But certainly, I think there are going to be another people that are very careful and will try just to react to what Jose does, and so the difference will be very low entering the time trial. I think
And I
maybe
think
around 20 seconds.
And I think Jose will be looking for some revenge, as he was eliminated, of course, of round 3 in inline. So quite surprising there, as I think he wants to prove here that he is still one of the very best on road, and uh, he has to get through here to really prove that as well. If he gets eliminated in both tour and inline, I think people will start to question him. Well, which is definitely not that fair, as he is, of course, one of the best players of the world. As we are getting started right here, as Frabo and the
The
tank are
tank.
going in the break.
Yes, and Frabo move is not surprising. The tank presence in the breakaway is quite so. I think he is more the style of a cautious player than an attacking one, but still he is there and he's going to take some points in the mountain. Aquarius, confirm me. Do you have the XML right? So that
yes,
point. Okay.
yes, yes.
So 3-2-1, and the tank will fight with Frabo for the 3 points. Frabo will take the third place for sure. Let us see who can take it. And I think Frabo will not. Yeah, maybe. Yes, he's going to fight it anyways. But too late. The tank clearly wins it. And Frabo takes P2 and P3. So for the mountain classification, maybe Frabo is trying to go with Pozzo Vivo. And the tank is just trying to go with his guy on the front that I don't remember who it was.
It was the
The hill
Cummings,
guy.
his
Yeah,
puncher.
the hill guy.
Yeah, it
Yep.
was the puncher coming, exactly. I think Frabo's bet of putting the 78 mountain there just to take mountain points, maybe it's the good one. Looking at the profile of next stage is better than the puncher, but never sure, never sure. And 3 minute advantage is growing.
Yes,
But I think getting the puncher in the break here is on this stage specifically is good, because I don't think Frabo's riders will have any chance at beating Cummings on these short hills.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I agree. I think actually it will be interesting to see if the break will be caught before the intermediate sprint, because I think there will be maybe some attacks with the leaders to pick up some bonus seconds if it's possible, or for the sprint points. That's obviously important. So I think they will try to catch the break before.
I'm not sure if everyone selected the same riders. Can you put the rider list? Let us see if
Well,
everyone took the 82 Sprinter or the 77, because I'm not sure if someone
alright.
took the.
So, okay, and to make sure, well, Frabo surely hasn't taken it, because
Mhm.
he took a Colbrelli, the ruler, if you want to call it like that.
Yes.
John Bino, yes, John Bino has the 82 Sprinter.
Yes.
In Laporte, Leo Falandri has Buani also.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the 82 Sprinter, the tank with Maclay, the 82 Sprinter, Jose Pereira, I think the Sprinter is Mendoza. Sancho is the Sprinter.
Mm-hmm.
Dinley, Sprinter. Yeah, I think Dinley doesn't take the Sprinter.
He takes the 77 Sprinter though, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
and Nacho neither, because he takes the ruler.
Mhm.
So 3 guys with the 82 Sprinter, in theory the ones that should fight for the stage win, John Bino, Leo Falandri, and the tank, and 3 guys without it that should do something to make sure they have a chance to fight
Sorry,
for the stage win.
4 guys with it, right? Because Jose Pereira also has it.
Yes, sorry, we are, there's 7 guys. Sorry.
Yes. 4 guys. So John Vino, Leo Falandri, Jose Pereira, and the tank are the favorites for the stage because they have the 82 Sprinter guy.
Yeah, I mean, the 82 Sprinter can take, in theory, 50 points in this stage if he wins both the intermediate sprint and the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be a massive advantage for the point standings.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's why those players are picking it, apart from the stage points, if they win. Because it gives you two options to fight for that jersey. With the climber, obviously, because 3 stages for the climber possibly. But I
Yes.
need to see where are the other intermediate sprints in the second and third stages to see if a sprinter can reach those and take extra points apart from this stage.
Certainly. What about the strategy difference, Morty? What do you think?
Well, I definitely think taking the main cobble guy can help with relaying in either the breakaway or the main group, but I would personally bring the sprinter because both stage 2 and especially stage 3 doesn't have a lot of flat, so I'm not sure how much use the cobbles guy will have, as he only has 60 mountain, so won't survive most climbs. So but it's definitely to just help your main leaders underway or go in the breakaway and relay there. But yeah, I'm not sure if I would do the same personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. Well, Pixel, opinion.
Yes. I think it's smart to take the 80 sprinter because, as Marty mentioned, there's not much flat where you can actually relay. So it doesn't really have a benefit to take the 79 flat guy. I think the couple guy has. And what is a point? I don't know. Like if you win the sprint competition, the intermediate sprint and the finish, if you have a guaranteed spot in the top 5 of the points classification with the sprinter, or if there are enough points for the mountain guys, that would be important to know. Like if you can actually take some points there, whilst Frabo is doing something with his train in the break. Lost some time there.
Carlos, you were going to say anything?
No, I was going to point out that suddenly Frabo's riders stopped into the road and
Yes.
blocked. Not sure if that was his own choice to stop the riders, or that while relaying, the riders got blocked because that's a known bug that
Mm-hmm.
riders, when they are close to the side of the road, they might get stuck if trying to get out of the relay and causing them to lose a lot of time until they.
Yeah, that's an annoying bug.
Yes, and tell me something. Who passed first on the second climb? Was also the puncher of the tank?
Yes, I mean same order as in the first line.
Okay. So
Let me see.
Cummings takes 6 points so far, and we have with 4 points Pozo Vivo, and with 2 points Santa Romita.
It'll be interesting to see if the tank wants to go with the Cummings in the breakaway for the other stages and try to compete for those mountain points. That does look like what he is going for.
I'm sure that is the plan, right?
Yeah, he should. He begun it now with going into the break on the stage, so he should continue it and try to win the KOM or get a good placement.
Now they are going to pass again in the top, the 3 guys for the KOM, but I think the breakaway is going to disappear before the intermediate sprint, and the peloton will try to take more points with their 82 guys.
Just
Yes,
like
that's the aim.
Pixel predicted, so it's fun to see.
After this climb, I'm going to check how the sprint is and see if there's corners around it. Or it's a pretty straightforward sprint.
Yeah.
I think it also looks like a loop at the end, like 3 laps of the same course or 4 even, because there's the same little lump. So I think it's a lap, yeah, where they drive on.
Again, Frabo takes it.
Wow,
Oh.
didn't expect that.
Yeah, I mean the tank didn't look too attentive in this climb. I mean he was in the back of the group all the time.
Yep. Did go too late, it seemed.
And sprinted too late to make sure he will overtake Frau. So,
yeah.
Very good move. And Frabo takes then the points, and the sprint looks like...
doesn't look like there's heavy corners. I mean, it's not fully straight, but it's not something that will mess up this sprint.
So yeah, intermediate sprint that is more or less flat and without any
we could check the map. Well, actually, looks before the corner zone.
Yeah, so it's not a big problem. They are going on that direction. So yeah, 54 kilometers to go, and the advantage is growing back to 2 minutes. But I doubt they can pass the intermediate sprint without being caught. 27 kilometers. Let us see if the peloton now relays strong to cut the difference to Frabo and the tank. Laufalandri and Josep Pereira assume the roles of leaders of this peloton and try to cut the difference. We also have 10 people watching, so thank you for everyone that is supporting us. El Colombiano is there saying Vamos Nacho, so he supports, of course, his fellow South American colleague Nacho. And Mendes says Aquarius compra el fantasy. That is private information from PCM Spain. So yeah, thank you all for being there. Do you think Josep Pereira and Leo Falandri should be working at this point, Fail Pixel?
Yes, definitely. They picked their 82 sprinter, and that's the only stage where he can pretty much do anything. So they should go on the front and relay to get this intermediate sprint points, because I think they're really important to get some points in the points classification. Because if they only get the finish line points, they won't get a placement in the points classification, and then there isn't much of a benefit if you take the 82 sprinter and don't go for that intermediate sprint. So maybe the others, I don't know who has the 82 sprinter. It was 4 guys, should help relay actually there.
The tank, but the tank is also...
he's in a break.
So, team attack by Frabo. Team attack by Frabo.
Wow, I didn't expect that. That's how Frabo plays. That's how he plays.
That is always how Frabo plays. And now we are going to see if he can manage to open a difference. The breakaway is stopping because Frabo is getting in there with his 4 riders. And Jose Pereira is now the one pushing very, very hard. He knows he can't let a meter to Frabo there. So yeah, Frabo going strong. Let us see if he can open the gap.
Yeah, but they are straight on the front.
What the 79 flat guy is for.
Yes, the 79 of Frabo is just for this move.
By the way, we are taking a look at the straight finish line.
Oh yeah, I see.
So
I think,
look at
I guess
this.
Frabo is going for the intermediate sprint. But
Yeah,
I mean,
Frabo is certainly going for it, and the 79 guy is destroying everyone with his yellows and red bars. And now
I mean,
it's
the thing
Volvo Vivo.
is it really worth these 2 seconds that he's going to take, because he's not going to catch Cummings? Well, maybe yes. But,
Maybe yes.
But is it really worth 2 seconds to basically waste out of bars of Pocho Vivo, potentially waste bars of Nibali?
I mean, it's a short flat stage, so they will get most back from recovery before stage 2. So I think
Yeah,
it's fine, actually.
I think it's an interesting move by Frabo.
Well,
and
obviously this has messed up big time the plans of the people who had the sprinters.
Cummings is the one probably taking the points.
What?
No,
No,
No, he has
Nibali.
no
dead,
red bar
looks
left.
like.
He did it.
No red bar left, and they are not sprinting here. But
Whoa.
interesting that. Well, I guess they think now that they don't have a chance for the points standings.
Whoa, that's interesting. Nibali, very good 3 seconds. That will help him out on the general classification. Maybe we are talking about second differences also for the time trial, and probably it's going to be a mass sprint in the mountain stage. So Frabo can take there the 3 seconds and just say, okay, now I have the advantage. You need to recover it from me. So yeah.
It was a pretty interesting move. Like, he did it. I wouldn't have thought he would do it with 4 guys having the 82 sprinter and wanting to get his points. I thought they would, but they didn't really go for it. So it's a nice 3 seconds, but it's also a choice for the second stage to be in the leader's jersey. That's of course sometimes with some people saying, "Oh, let the leader work."
Yeah,
That's also
it's
a
not going
choice
to
to
be
do.
the leader, of course, because someone
Yeah,
is going to take
yeah,
10 seconds.
okay. I
But
didn't remember that. That's true.
yes,
Now
but
what is Dinley doing?
Dinley is attacking.
Yeah, but he's talking with the second climber
With the
and
77
The
sprinter.
77
it's
sprinter.
only
and
a sprinter. I mean, that's, well, doesn't make much sense for me.
No, that won't go anywhere because it's only 70
I mean,
left and
but
they have enough
yeah,
domestics.
but I don't know. If you want to do this finisher attack, you should attack with 2 flat guys at least.
I mean, it makes the race more interesting at least, but I definitely do like the move by Frabo, as he knows that Jose and Leo are the favorites in this group, so he's getting every advantage that he can take, and just surprising everyone in the peloton.
Well, it was a nice move, definitely.
Yes, interesting one at least. Let's see if it's going to pay off next stages.
Probably more important than the 3 seconds, because with the hard stages that are left and the time trial, that made, I mean, the time trial alone could make the bonus seconds irrelevant.
Yeah, but
the points that his climber wins
Mhm.
in that intermediate sprint could be the difference between winning that jersey later in the race or not.
Yes, I understand what Carlos is saying. This is Climber has a very good advantage now in the points classification.
I mean, it's
And
10 points, but
yeah, but it's 10 points that he is probably going to. The sprinters are only going to take 40 points now, so that 10 points can help Frabo's leader to recover in the next mountain stage.
also it's very important to place your climber in a good position in the sprint, because you can see that there's a lot of points to offer.
I'm almost sure Frabo's rider will be on the wheel. We start max sprint. Now is the tank on the right side, and it's a straight line to the finish line. The tank on the right side, he has the best position now. Leo Falandro in the middle to the left. We also have Frabo on the left, and the Portuguese José Pereira looks like his train is on the front of Dinley. So Dinley is in a very bad position.
Well,
Vino's
not
early.
super early. That's too early. Vino
John
now.
Vino's in a good position.
John Vino is a very good
Perfect position.
But
Leo's coming. But it's
it's going to be a win for John Vino.
Out of Jose Pereira and Leo Falandri and Nacho.
Yes.
And Vino also
Pinot,
gets 8th with his main mountain leader.
Place, yeah, that's very important for him. Well,
Yes.
Pinto 11th. Look who is dropping here.
No one is dropping importance. Okay. But yeah, whoa. Certainly interesting to see that that John Vino won a sprint with a lot of class. He launched early with 3 riders, then 2, then 1, and he completely dominated the sprint. We were expecting big slipstreams, but apparently it didn't happen. Very good one by Vino there.
Yes, it was perfect. It was perfect timing. Like you could see, Nacho was going a bit too early. Ended only up fourth or fifth, I think. But Nacho,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I think
Giombino
people
launched
slept on. I mean, basically they slept.
Yeah, they slept a bit.
Yeah, they went too late. Like just a bit too late.
That is the move. Look, Jose Pereira on the right side. He tries to recover, but it was too late. And Vino's sprint was very, very, very good.
I
He
need
has
to
definitely
really,
practiced this stage, it seems like.
Yeah, you could see he was staying perfectly on the line. Yeah, like you could see he went out of it
and
on the line. It was
I
perfect.
mean, you could have seen that Pinot was on the wheel of Laporte,
Yes.
Yeah. Finished
and
his
that's why
eighth.
he took a very good place in the sprint with Pinot.
I
Yes.
believe
Seven,
Pino
eight,
takes
eighth
more
place.
I
points.
mean, basically it was a perfect stage for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
How much points is Pino taking there? That would be interesting to see. I think it should be around 9.
11.
11.
Yeah. So he
11.
takes
Better
more
than
One
Fabio.
more than Nibali.
Yep. I think Pinto of Dili has like 7 points or something like that because he was 11th. I'll check now before the start of the next stage. Yeah, Pinto. 5 points for Pinto, and no one else has scored points with a climb.
Yep. The leaders are Pinot with 11, Frab with 10, and Dilly with 5.
Well,
Yep.
We have
are
also
starting-
results from the other groups. In Group A, wins Tomsowski ahead of Dan
mean,
Berre and Duao.
I mean, there's an intermediate sprint basically at the start of this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
So-
on, Fail Pixel.
So
Zolski wins.
Tomsowski in Group A. I mean, we could see that he's good in sprinting at the Classics last year, but that's
Yep.
surprising. Dan Berre gets second and fourth, so it seems like in this group the sprinters have been a bit fucked up. Joe doing a 7, 8, 9, Joe Whiteley, so he fucked something up in the sprint definitely. Seems like.
Very good result. Raul also with P3.
Yeah, P3, with P3 indeed. Then we have in B. Is it ready? Yes, it is ready. There is Swaxon winning with a 1-2. Wow, that's impressive. Ahead of Flynn, so 3-1 for Britain. In third is there Davi, and then Pirichaka. Oh god, I sacrificed that name. Tonu and Guillaume.
Yes.
Do we have C as well? No, it's not looking like.
Swaxon did 1-2, Flynn did 3-5, and Davi did 4-6.
Yeah, so 3 players in the top 6.
Yes.
The others in the mud, basically.
Yeah, well, sadly for them, only first rider counts for points.
And there was a crash on Group C. No, not crash. Simply they didn't got the results yet. Okay.
Yes, it
Bravo
looks like.
going with his sprinter for intermediate sprint. There goes Leo with Buhani.
John Vino should be.
All the sprinters going.
Where is John
going
Vino?
here.
Oh, there he goes. Needs
Well,
to
we
be
could-
fast to come back to the group.
Yeah, well, I mean, this little uphills will make it easier.
Yes, and the tank also there.
Yeah, basically
And-
everyone attacking for intermediate sprint.
Peloton is now back. Control?
No, they stopped.
No, they
Well,
stopped. Okay.
Giombino has put his 78 climber here, which I don't
Interesting.
think anyone else has done. Oh, no, yes, the tank has.
The tank and John Vino. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, multiple others have put their puncher.
Mm-hmm. The two Skype guys, curiously, with the same strategy here and putting 78 on the breakaway. Let us see if they can make difference. Dylan is the one pushing because he knows some sprinters are not there, including Nacho, and Nacho has no man on the front.
Yeah,
And
Nacho, I'm not sure why it's him relaying. I mean, because he looked that he was relaying very intensely.
mm-hmm.
We'll see.
So, is Nacho the only one that is not on the front?
It looks like.
I think so. Here's Bravo, Vino.
I see
Dili,
1, 2,
Jose,
3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the only one without any rider there.
Yes,
But,
4 kilometers
but,
to
I
the
mean,
sprint.
For the
Let us,
intermediate sprint, it's too late for him. But
let us see who can sprint.
well-
There goes Jose Pereira. That is a very beautiful attack.
Going early
now,
definitely can work as
the
you
tank I
surprised a
think
lot of
has
people there.
crashed.
Bubbles closing it for everyone.
Crashed.
That's not smart.
Jose
Oh.
Pereira now. Frabo. Leo Falandri.
Leo's taking it, I think.
No, I think it's for Jose.
Oh.
Yeah, Jose.
It's
Jose ahead of Buani. I
Yeah.
mean, Frabo didn't have the chance with his riders.
So
The
Jose
Riders
Pereira
have-
is
yeah.
now the leader of the sprint jersey, of the green jersey. I mean,
Should
because
be.
Well,
he had
he's now tied with Laporte. I guess Laporte took some points, maybe 4 or 5. I don't know.
I don't think
Well,
so.
apparently he didn't. So this
Yeah.
plays in benefit of the tank
Yeah.
because he's the climber with most points.
Mhm.
How many points will there be at the end of the stage? Rewarded for the winner. Can you please
Here
show?
is 15 points, but there's an intermediate
15
sprint
points.
here for another 10 points that
Yeah.
will be contested by GC riders.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you also need to think that the TT gives points to the sprint classification, and it's going to be taken by the climbers too.
Yeah,
Because
that's the point. Like, will the sprinters have enough advantage by now over the climbers to hold on for the
Well,
green jersey?
I don't think so. I mean, there's 3 stages, but
Yes.
worth 15 points each, and even more, there's an intermediate sprint only for climbers.
Mhm.
Now, Jose is pulling behind. I think, well, he doesn't like the breakaway.
There is an intermediate sprint in the third stage that maybe can be won by a sprinter in a breakaway, but other than that, yeah, it's difficult.
Yes, that's the thing. I think around the top sprinters in green jersey have now around, I think, 42 or 43 points. So at this
In theory,
stage, you can
40 points for Sancho of Jose and 40
Yeah.
for the one of Giombino.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that won't be enough. Even
That
50
it's
points
not enough, yeah.
will be too low.
Yes, it will be.
is there
Like-
any risk of spending everything there? Just they spent a lot of bars and getting out of control in this stage, Carlos.
I honestly haven't tested. I mean, the stage isn't very long, but I mean, I don't think the out of control time will be lower than 1 hour.
Mhm.
I mean, and Jose usually is a master of the time out of time limit control.
Because Jose is now working hard, and his rider is probably going to die soon. The sprinter, same for John Vino's one and everyone's, and they can lose it, maybe.
Now,
So,
I mean, I really doubt that they will be out of time
mhm.
in this stage. I mean, probably the third one. Well, the third one is very long. I mean, only very short stages are the ones that are more risky for
Mhm.
limit time.
Mhm. Now the breakaway goes with two breakaways actually. The one in the front has the tank pushing with Leo Falandri and Frabo also there, and then we have the group of John Vino and Jose Pereira. So yeah, it's two different races there, and
I
the
mean,
peloton of course.
and the tanks. I don't know if the logical thing will be to fight the con with Yates, not with Cummings.
Hello
Last
to the
stage-
20 people watching. Amazing. We are getting to records tonight. Very good. So, yep. And we have Deanley pushing in the peloton as he has no man in the breakaway. He and Nacho are the ones that have no one in the front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's-
he's
it's,
asking Nacho to work together with him, as we can see.
Yeah.
Nacho
It's an
relays,
interesting
says
stage so
Deanley.
far. Yeah, he says it, and it's an interesting stage so far. Like, we got to fight for the sprint points and now for the breakaway to get some advantage over Dinley and Nacho, for example, who don't have anyone in the break. So high pace so far. So let's see who sacrifices the most domestiques on here. As in the peloton, they stop right now. Frabo's
Yeah.
pulling despite having someone in the break. I don't know why.
I think he's just trying to put himself in the front of the group and maybe going for the bridge. Now riders start to die. There goes the sprinter of Leo Falandri, the sprinter of the tank, the sprinter of Jose, and the sprinter of John Vino. They are all
I
going.
mean, yeah, I mean, but not very early.
Yeah. No.
I mean, there even are riders behind.
Yep. Okay, we continue to go up, and now it's an acceleration
Yeah, Frabo has attacked
by
him.
Frabo.
He
I
plays
guess that
so
he
aggressive.
wants to
that's
be alone for
insane.
taking the con point.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's probably going to be an interesting move. Let's see if someone reacts. Now it doesn't look like it. Maybe the tank is the one pushing. Oh, Nibali now pushing on the group. Interesting.
I think he is testing the distance where he wants to attack Frau. I mean, I doubt that he doesn't attack in this climb.
Yep, I
No,
think
that's
he is
early.
going to attack
I mean,
soon.
yeah.
And he has
But he's
he has
like,
2 riders in the front, 1 rider in the middle, and these 2 in the peloton. So interesting.
I feel like it's too early to attack on this one. Like you can see, there's a big false flat between the second and the third climb, and now he's going for the KO arm, so he would have to pull these back. I don't think he will attack on this climb. Maybe on the next one or on the false flat afterwards, because no one will relay there before the big climb, I think. But maybe it can be different. Who went there? I think we lost Morty.
Yeah, unfortunately, apparently.
Maybe disconnect or something.
I think he has some kind of thing to do, so I don't know if he can come back. Trying to.
Yeah, maybe something to do or internet problems. I don't know. Let's see.
Yep.
But we can do it. We can do it. Yeah, as many people are dropping now, both of Frabo's riders. So he has only one in front from now on.
He's just here. Sorry, just.
well, looks like Pozzolivo will take the 12 points in Colle Fauniera here. Behind Yates and Godou fighting for second place. Looks like the tank. Take it. Bambino looks to be waiting somewhat, or he has very low bar. There is Leo and Jose with Cummings. Yeah, very calm in the bunch.
But Aquarius, if we go to the back of the group for once, you can see Jose Pereira saving, always being at the back of the group, saving a lot of, like, maybe saving some recovery bar, like the blue bar. Seems like he's a master of that, of course. He's a top pro player in saving bars. Let's see, we're on the big downhill now. I don't know who's left in the break. I think about 5 to 6 people, maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's Frabo up front, followed by Godou and Yates, and here it's 3 punchers: Cummings, Mollard, and Guerreiro. And Santa Romita here in the middle. I guess he will drop back to the bench because it's impossible for him to back to the.
Morty's back, fortunately.
We have him
Hey,
back,
Morty.
yeah.
Hello.
Go.
Also, you can see Dilly making his typical comments of uninstalling the game to someone.
To Nacho, I'm guessing looks like, as he is annoyed that he won't relay together with him.
Yeah, looks so.
But
Casual Dinley.
that is something that annoys me here and there with players saying that. Like, I get it. It's annoying when someone doesn't relay with you, but it's every person's for themselves. Of course, if they aren't relaying and it's hurting both of you, that's extra annoying. But yeah, it's unnecessary, I feel, to say that. As there are a lot of gaps here actually forming, so we can see. Can we get a yeah? Thank you.
One, I'm going to put a clock to the one to
Yep,
Bardet,
great.
for example, to make sure we have a overview. Well,
5 minutes. That's a nice
here
gap.
you can see an overview of the groups.
Yeah.
Well, basically the bands all together. Yeah, well, the tank has been in the distance trying to attack both Leo and Jose to reach to this group.
I'm guessing most of these players have their 78 mountain guy, looks like. As
well, yeah, the 3 up front, yes. These 2 are the punchers.
yeah, as the tank also has his puncher, looks like, yeah.
Bravo looks to be going for the solo thing.
The Pixel, do you feel like there's any possibility to for the breakaway to win this stage?
No, I don't think so. At some point on the second to last or the last climb, they will either catch them or attack up to them as like relay stations. To help, it's just to help. Like on this kind of mountain stages, you send someone up the road to not to have to relay or to like have some help in the later stages. As if you're on the peloton now with some riders, they won't survive as long as the ones in the front. I feel like.
That is definitely the tactic of bringing someone up the road, as you don't have to relay that hard in the breakaway to get many minutes, as we see here. These players aren't really going super hard, but still getting a lot of time.
Yes, indeed.
As Frabo looks really good here for the mountain classification, as he still has 1 minute on the people behind.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how he tackles the false flat. Well, the first part of Añelo, whatever you want to call it. If you want to consider that the climb starts when the road starts to rise, even if it's not very high slopes, or only in the final part, because well, alone and he can struggle to maintain this pace.
Yeah, as we can see, it's a really difficult climb. 14 kilometers, 9% average. You don't have to relay too hard to lose a lot of energy, as it's 7 minutes now to the peloton from the front of the break. Ooh, that's
Yeah, I mean,
beginning to be difficult.
in the peloton there are some people not agreeing to relay, or to call it politely.
Yeah,
We see Dilly
we
quite angry to Nacho because he doesn't look like he's put a foot into the front of the group.
yes, as it doesn't look like anyone is relaying in the peloton. They're just efforting next to each other, as
Yeah,
we can
I
see.
mean, this could be probably it's starting to reach a gap that can be interesting for the stage win. Probably GC fight it will need quite more time.
How
That
long is
stage is
the last climb?
well,
Doesn't
the
look
last
too
I
climb
long.
think
is
7 to 8 maybe.
yeah,
No, it's actually
9.6 kilometers.
12 or 10. Like you can see from the last sprint to the finish, it's 12. So there's a bit of Donald, so about around 10
Yeah, I
kilometers
mean,
maybe.
yeah, I mean, here is the profile, the Summit Butcher. It's
It
called.
says there that is 9.6 kilometers.
Yeah.
I mean, the final climb is super hard.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
insane.
looks very easy compared to Añel. I mean, because Añel is a monster, but
Yeah, it's steep. Like 9% in average is hard. It's really hard. Seems
Yeah,
like Probo's going again for the mountain points.
I
yeah,
would have thought if it was around 6 kilometers, it would be easier for the people in the front to win. But when it's 9 kilometers, you can get a lot of time back there if the breakaway
yeah, but
guys are tired.
they need to work in the flat to Añelo.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
I
they
mean,
need.
otherwise,
minutes
I mean,
now.
if Pozo starts the hard part of Añelo with disadvantage, he wins the stage.
That looks likely, as he takes those mountain points pretty easily, as you guys predicted. The tank having to go for Yates not coming, so took the mountain points on stage 1
But we're
here
taking
as
points from Yates here, and well, looks like Cummings is done. He
yeah.
might catch up in the descent. Well, I understand that Leo's and Jose's strategy is to try to have the puncher after Col Daniel, but it's. I mean, like if they have them there, it's irrelevant that the others have their 78 guy more up front. For that down, I mean, I guess that their thinking is attacking Añelo, drop the rest if they can, and push her with the puncher in the descent with the climber.
And this has to be
and the win.
frustrating for the guys in the Pelton who don't have anyone in the break.
Yeah, I mean, you see that Dill is trying to trash talk Nacho to make sure he helps him.
Trying to inspire Nacho, he might say, but
Yeah,
it's
well.
not inspiring words.
Yeah,
Man.
he's doing the usual things like we know Dinley is this. It's Dinley, as I said.
Yeah. As you pronounce it better than me, Aquarius, but this climb here is the longest of the day, and it just gets steeper and steeper, as you can
Yeah.
see there. My God, wow.
Yeah, I mean, if height was a thing in PCM, well, this will be one of the most difficult mountains in PCM.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's already one of the most difficult, but will be even harder.
Yes, I wonder how much people in the peloton are willing to work like on this kind of false flat parts. I think like if I would be a player, I would always be considered I need this energy on the really steep part and can't
Yeah, I
waste
mean,
so much
I
before.
mean, I
So it's
think
really a gamble.
Jose and I
Yeah,
think Jose and Leo
it's really a gamble, I'd say. But go on.
don't really
Sorry.
want to work. I mean, while they think the Frabo's gap is worrying,
Yes.
because I mean, I doubt that the current gap can be enough for Pocho Vivo to really be a threat for GC, considering
Yeah.
the third and fourth stages. But for their strategy for these stages, Leo and Jose need to not relay to make sure their punchers are ahead of the group after Añero. Otherwise, it's they lose in comparison to the guys that John Bino the tank that they have the 78th climber and yeah.
I don't know a lot of Spanish, but
Well, I mean, I don't really understand. I mean, in Spanish, but well, it's like he's complaining about the guys in the match.
yeah, yeah, I got that.
I mean, it's like well, won't translate.
No,
Yeah, I think
I think we got most of that from just knowing a little bit of Spanish.
I think
Yeah,
the
I
third
mean, Nacho
word.
is pulling too strong in the bunch. I understand why he said that because he can't get the bunch to follow him. I mean that. I mean he just wants to freely ride 85 in the bunch without any consequences. And he's. I mean, when you do that, you should make sure you follow yourself. Otherwise,
Yes.
you have this awkward situation where you are pushing and you have to brake. You keep pushing, you have to brake.
Yeah,
Because
I think he's trying to make a point now, trying to relay, but when no one else is relaying, he just rides away, like you said, and doesn't help any.
It's not going anywhere. Like
in this scenario, he needs to be near the front with all his team, because otherwise they will just keep going forward that ride. Let's see. Well, Frabo. I mean, here John Bino and the tank seems to be not really collaborating or going really slow, because Frabo
they're
keeps
losing time to
increasing
Frabo.
his advantage. I mean, I guess he's spending some energy to make sure he has still this gap, but
I mean, you said that he won't really be a threat for GC. How much time do you think he needs before that's a thing?
I mean,
because they're
it's
not getting
difficult
closer.
it's difficult to predict because the third stage is so brutal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's brutal, but doesn't have any super big climbs. I mean, it's all the time up and down with semi-long climbs. I mean, it's not pure hills, but it's not high mountains. It's difficult to say how much time a rider like this against people who need to attack him. I mean, if you just do a normal stage, not trying to attack close to the finish, Pochovivo will survive. I wouldn't say easily, but within a time range that fits him good.
Carlos, could
Also,
you?
I'm not sure about the S time trial because this rider, I mean, it's not much worse in climbing than the climber, and S climb is not so hard that the time trial skills come into play for the rider. I haven't tested as I'm out in this competition, but I mean it's not might not be a very big gap between the pure climbers and this kind of rider.
It will be interesting to see as the 78 Mountain Guy does have more time trial than the main leader, but in mountain time trials, that time trial stat doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I
you
mean,
were about
but
to say
S
something, Pixel?
is not the hardest climb. I mean,
No,
so
for sure.
mountain states might not come fully into it. And
Like
also there's
I mentioned
a bit of
earlier,
flat in the start, and
it's not Le Planche de Belfi, it's Col d'Es. It's a
yeah.
little bit easier.
But
I mean,
still, it's 11 minutes almost. Like, do you guys
yeah,
agree that this will
well,
be for the break?
well,
While Leo and Fabio
Bravo,
are attacking, it's
yeah,
getting interesting. It gets
yeah,
interesting.
and I mean the real winner here probably is Leo with this move.
Yes.
Yeah, he
because
gets 40 seconds without doing much. That is very smart.
Yeah, I mean he has his puncher here that he will be ahead, and then he's trying to pass his second climber too. I think probably with this move of Bravo, he's giving the win to Leo. I mean, I understand he tries to gain advantage on other people sleeping, but well, I now don't understand why he's working with Visconti.
I mean, he got 1 minute really quickly as he is getting closer to
Yeah, I mean,
Pozzovivo as well.
Leo is realizing that his second climber won't go past this climb, and he will only have the puncher. I don't think he will need more if he can keep up with Nibali's insane pace.
Ooh.
I mean, if I were Nibali, I would just go with Leo. I mean, I don't understand.
Yes. That's
To...
a waste of energy. I think. Like, why is he not just sitting on him? It's Leo Fernando has two, so he has to relay there. So
I mean,
I don't know.
Pozzovivo is well. I'm going to put a timer here to between Jose and Pozzovivo.
Yes.
Better because Leo is in the middle. Mix it up.
Yeah, as the Platinum is
see,
getting closer
Mollard,
slowly.
I mean, probably Mollard is going to get cooked a bit early than Leo will like, but yeah, I mean, I don't understand Nibali. Unless he really thinks he can recover all the energies in that descent, also going fast.
He is riding incredibly aggressive as maybe he's trying to catch up to Pozzovivo in the front, but that's going to be really difficult.
But I mean, if he wants to do that, he should stop Pozzovivo. I mean, and there's a 6-minute gap. I mean, he will eventually he will eventually drop back to Leo's group.
Yeah.
It's really stupid to do otherwise. By the way, Jose attacking with his team, but he's being followed.
Yep, as a lot of domestiques are dying, there's mostly the 78 Mountain Rider and the Puncher maybe left for these guys right now.
Brandao, very close.
Oh, that was close. Can you maybe show like how steep the downhill is? Because it doesn't look too steep in the middle part. Like it's pretty flat there.
Yeah, it looks like a false flat. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, this is probably where Leo has the big advantage now.
Yeah.
Because he has the puncher here working for him. Bravo is here in the middle. Well, difficult to understand his situation. Now Jose has to work. It's forced to work because he has the puncher here. But obviously the stage win is, well, I don't know if it's going to be for Bravo. Because he's been alone for all the states, and these two guys have been relaying together.
Yeah, they're also closer to Pasuivo now, so it
Yeah.
may be that Pasuivo is going a little slower in the front to save energy for when Nibali gets closer to him.
Yeah, but I mean, I think
Still,
it's
it's still
I mean,
5
I don't
minutes. So.
think. Well, thankfully this sprint was not needed to be contested by this guy. It's after these corners.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will definitely get a lot of
Well, I
energy
mean,
back
looks
in
like
this
Leo
corners as
will
well.
start the climb with some advantage. The thing is, will he have to recover all his bars with Martin, and well, more importantly with Bardet?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
he has
because
been
this downhill
in the wheel. So.
was not very easy to recover, I think, and obviously he's going full pace.
Yep.
Yeah, looks
So
like
we are moving
Pozzovivo
into the final
is going
climb now.
slower.
Climb.
Stage win is between these three guys. It's impossible for the rest to catch up. Yeah, and Leo starts this climb going all in. And he's taking a few extra seconds with that move. Jose is going to. Yep.
He
he's
makes the
going to
gap.
drop.
He makes the gap. He goes for it as well.
Is he though? Oof, close.
Oh, it's close. It's
Yeah,
not enough though.
Yeah, Pinot is alone, obviously, because 78 climbers ahead.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it's a difficult situation for those who don't have a domestic right now.
Leo Falandro loses his domestic.
Yes.
Yeah, but now he's working with Fravo, in theory.
Yeah, no,
I mean, both
these
benefit
guys...
from this because with this current gap, Pozzovivo is not a GC threat. I mean, Pozzovivo, in theory, should win the States.
That looks the most likely, but we
will he
don't
pull
know
him
how
back?
much energy he has left, of course, as he rode alone for such a long
Yeah.
time while the two guys back.
Yeah, but it's like 4 minutes. I mean, there was like 4 or 5 minutes before the climb. I mean,
Yeah.
even with
It's only 2.5 minutes now, as it's even shorter
I mean,
to
Jose
Leo
taking
and
all the chase
Nibali.
responsibility, and Leo complaining that Fravo doesn't give him relays. Well, basically, I mean, you guys see Nacho is his climber has not been near the front, and there's 3 kilometers left. He's still there. Well, I mean, it's hard to understand tactics here.
It's a difficult situation like to predict because Jose Pereira was driving at the front. Oh, that block!
Goodness.
Oh my god! Poor
Yeah,
Frabo. Oh my
he got
god!
in the middle.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what happens when you go into maintain position following someone, and as lower rider comes.
As Leo is
Pozzovivo
getting
may
closer
not
and
win the
closer
stage,
to Pozzovivo, he may even catch up. That
So
is
close.
definitely impressive.
There would be heartbreak. Pozzovivo was solo for like 80 kilometers or something.
I
He
think
catches
Bardet
him.
is gonna
Will he?
get the win.
Oh my god,
Oh
it's
my
going to be
god!
close.
Please
I think
no!
Leo does take it.
It's coming.
Please no! Please no! Come on! Go Pozzo!
Yeah,
Oh,
Leo
no!
has a lot more
No.
energy as he does take it.
Oh no!
But it does look like...
Jose
No,
Pereira
Frabo
is
also
gonna take
dies
second
with
place.
Nibali as Jose gets second, and...
Pozzovivo
Oh,
the
it's so
stage
close for
point.
third.
Wow.
It's Nacho takes third.
Wow.
Oh my
By
god!
the way, massive lag in that sprint, at least in my view.
But didn't look like there were any significant time gaps between
Yeah, I
the
think
leaders.
Bardet will get like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Over the rest,
Nothing.
and
They
the
were
rest will be together.
I think there will be more
Oh,
gaps on next stage for sure.
yes, they have to
Well,
attack. Like, no one has to attack actually at this point, but maybe some will. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no one is extremely forced.
No,
I mean,
no.
Frabo could say, well, I have the calm win, basically secure. I mean, probably the ones in most danger are people like Dilly or the tank. Don't have. I mean, Giombino has the stage result from before. Jose and Nacho have the stage result for now and the bonus seconds.
Oh man. I feel
I mean,
so bad for Pozzo Vivo. He was like
yeah, I mean,
getting caught 200 for line and gets 8th, like last from that group. Like
Yeah.
after 80 kilometers of solo, it's
yeah, I
so
mean, but
heartbreaking.
even more dramatic is that it's an eight-man group at the end, and Bravo takes 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried to. I think with Nibali he tried to do too much of an exhibition and probably paid for it.
Yeah,
He lost the stage.
he should have went back
I
to
mean,
Leo Landry on the downhill, I feel
Yeah.
like. Or on the
I mean,
climb.
he shouldn't have. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking. Going, and he had his next domestic like 8 minutes ahead, and Lofandri was with 3 riders 20 seconds behind him, and he kept pushing. It was
I am guessing
very,
he maybe was paying attention to multiple things at once, and that can become difficult. But he paid for it in the end.
Yeah, also the
Yeah,
block,
I
like
think
I
so.
think without the block he would have done a bit better, maybe a chance of a podium,
Well,
because
yeah,
he lost gap and energy there. That's not a question. So
yeah, but probably.
maybe the deciding energy, even because it was close at the end. It was like the 7 riders were, or the 6 riders, apart from Bade, were like really close together. It was a matter of like some wet bar. It was really small wet bar. Everyone was playing the same kind of, like with the same energy in the end.
So we see here Frabo dies.
As we see again, yeah. Look, they're all look. It's so close. It's so tight.
Well,
They're
looks
all out together.
4 seconds. Jose Pereira got there.
Jose also gets.
Oh,
second.
does he?
That's interesting. Well, 4 seconds that makes his gap to the main bunch 10 seconds now. Because now Leo leads with 14 seconds over Jose Pereira, 20 over Nacho, 21 over Bravo, basically, and 24
Yes. Yeah.
over the tank, Dilly, and John Mino.
Still really close though, so it's anyone's to play for. But that stage win
Yeah,
was
in the comp, basically,
really good for
Bravo
Leo.
wins it, 51 points compared to 29 from the tank and 24 of John Mino.
There's a lot of mountain points to take on this
Yeah,
next
but
stage,
it's
though.
not.
So.
I mean, most of them are second and third category climbs. No really big points in
That's
in
true.
offer.
Getting that HG finish is really important, as Laporte still is leading together with Sancho.
Well, best climber is with 19 points.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be. I mean, I thought it would be much easier for the climbers to catch up, but well.
What as well?
I mean, with the secondary climbers ahead in the intermediate sprint, they lost a lot of points that way.
That mattered a whole lot, I think, here.
As we see in the stream in the chat, I agree to Eva, who's saying in the chat, poor Pozzo, what a stage. It was a great stage. Like, we had so much action with currently 10 minutes, and then Pozzo lose it is on the last 20 meters. It was so bad luck for Frabo. Like, Frabo was losing on 2 fronts, like losing the stage 200 meters before the line, and losing with Nibali due to that stupid block.
Oh my goodness! This
He was the loser of the stage. I feel like he won the KOM basically, but he could have done better. Like, there was that small margin. He could have done way better even.
Yeah, I mean.
So we see.
I mean, at the end, as I said, his move in Añelo will give the win to Leo, and that's exactly what happened. And
this stage is
if he had waited
incredibly vicious.
If he had waited maybe a couple of more kilometers, Pozzo Vivo would have hold on to the win. That's a lot of points. Maybe he still finished last of the climbers.
As we can see in Group C, I can only read. We don't have results, but it seems like someone's 78 mountain got 6 minutes on the second stage, so he has 6 minutes advantage on the 78 mountain.
6 minutes, it's a very big advantage.
That's huge, yeah. He can actually do it with the 78.
Yeah, I didn't think in any moment that 6 minutes was the gap that Pozzo Vivo could get. But anything lower than 3 minutes, I will say that it's very unlikely that the 78 guy can hold on.
Yeah.
But 6 minutes in other group, well, that's a big time gap.
Yeah, they have to go early basically, like to drop him early and gain minutes there. Because
Yeah, I mean, it's
otherwise,
difficult because the ones that try to go very, I mean, yeah, I mean that guy now has to go all in into his 78 guy.
yeah, and wow, you can actually have a look
Well,
into Group B. There was insanely big gaps. Darby has won the mountain stage with 16 seconds out of Piro Chaka. Third is Flynn on 32 and Tono Ford on fourth on 37. And apart from that, it's like Swexen losing 2 minutes, Guillaume losing 2 minutes. That's a hell of a gap.
yeah, I mean,
That's insane.
probably the problem of this group was that it was so slow all the race that it was impossible to really make difference at the end. I mean, it was like everyone was going slow to make sure they could have an extra rider after Agnello. So
Yes.
pace was incredibly slow,
Yeah.
and
But
any
that's
advantage
insane.
that the best players could have was lost that way, because
Yeah, I mean,
if you're right if you arrive into the final climb with two riders, it's, I mean, Nacho even had his second climber with 1 kilometer to go. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, that
yes, that's
shows
impressive.
how passive was the racing in this group.
Yeah, but yeah,
Well,
it's impressive also in Group B. Like we know Swagson. I think he is one of the best, well, all-rounded players. He is, I think, in all third rounds, and he loses 2 minutes. I've never seen Swagson losing 2 minutes on a mountain stage. Like no
And
chance there. As
and
well as
Guilherme loses more, even
yeah,
more, 2 minutes
even
and a
4 seconds
half.
more. I wonder what happened there. Like I will definitely watch it back because
well,
how
but by the
how
way, this is getting interesting. Froome attacking, and I think he has most of his, all his team here. So now Leo needs to make sure.
And I think the reason the tank does that is because some others in the break put their sprinter there to try to get the sprint points. So if the tank goes with his guys, he knows that it will probably get back together again because he does not want the sprinters to win the intermediate
take it.
sprint.
Yeah, well, but it's kind of.
As Jose still goes with the sprinter. Well,
I mean,
as
I mean, you won't understand, but there's an expression in Spanish that says "matar moscas a cañonazos," and it can be translated like killing some bees. I mean, it's not the same thing
Flies,
with a bazooka.
yeah, killing flies with a bazooka.
yeah.
So I mean, doing a full team attack just to make sure some sprinters don't get in the breakaway, it's like overreacting.
Yeah, definitely true. As he could have just paced them back in, but again, we see sprinters trying to go here as even more
I
attacks
mean, people
go.
try to put the riders in the front. Godu is the second climber of Gambino, yes.
Yeah,
Well, Frabo back again into the main group,
yeah, he wants
and
to win
the
the
tank.
KOM jersey
Yeah,
with Vivo for sure now. As the tank again attacks with his team.
yeah. I mean,
It
but
won't work.
I mean, if Frabo is smart, I mean, he will try to put Vivo in a situation that can give him a double chance at GC somehow.
That's true.
I mean, with Vivo so close in GC, they can just give this breakaway some leeway and hope. And later just control the attacks. You can.
Yes.
I mean, also Jade should be close. 1 minute.
Yeah, we can maybe just for a second give me 10 seconds. In Group A, there was also the mountain stage, and 5 people finished together with Raul Kingmaker, Gabi, Joe Whiteley, and Pierre. Pierre's winning the stage out of Joe Whiteley and Gabi, and only Dembere and Tim Soski are losing time. So Dembere and Tim Soski both on around 30 seconds losing some time. That's important, of course, for the third mountain stage. And you can go on.
Well, Jose Pereira is putting his climber in the first positions, and with that downhill with turns, the group really stretched. I don't know if that's the word.
Yeah.
Expand.
But it definitely does look like the sprinters will be in a position to take the intermediate sprint when that comes, as
Well, I mean, it will
don't think
depend
people will get
how
dropped.
hard this second category climb is really.
Not too hard, actually. I mean, the sprinters, they have 62 mountain, should be okay if no one is
Yeah,
pacing.
but maybe it's, they don't have enough red bar to. Well,
And in Group C, they crashed, apparently. And Tron was in a good position. That's
Again?
of course sad.
Wow.
Yeah, it feels like. Yeah, I just can't see Tron typing he doesn't want to play anymore at this point. Because it seems like he was in a good position, and that always sucks. If it crashes when
yeah,
you're
well,
like,
Yeah.
even if you're in a bad position, a stage that crashes, the second time you play it is awful always. Because you already know what people are supposed to do, and it always ends in a very passive. It's
So
the
we
worst
just
thing that.
keep getting back together again over and over in this group. No one getting away. As it's interesting that these players are using so much energy early in the stage when the latter part of the stage is as hard as it is. Feel like people will be dead at the finish line.
it will be certainly.
As we are getting up to the category 2 climb soon, will be interesting to see if the sprinters can survive over it. I tend to believe that they will be able to do that, as it's not too long, it's not too difficult.
Okay. It's a whip for Tron. It was 10 to go, and he had 1.5 minutes. That's sad. That's sad, certainly. Oh my
I
god.
mean, Pasovio had like 2.5 minutes with 10 to go, and he got
Yeah, but
blocked.
it was with his leader, I think.
Okay,
So
well that's
everyone
different.
everyone was saying, oh, he would have gone through, would have taken stage NGC probably. So Rip
That's
Tron,
sad.
I feel bad.
But
It
it's
sucks so
it's
much.
difficult to then be like, oh well, then he gets that time, because you will never know what will happen.
No,
in
you
the final
don't. You
round.
can't do that. It's just this stupid game, honestly.
Yeah, it feels bad. I hope they have worked some on the online servers for PCM 21. We'll see. It's of course coming out in early June, so
Yeah, I hope, but I don't really have much hope, as we could see what happened in the last years. Exactly nothing.
yeah, they do like just adding weird features to career mode instead
Yeah,
of like
certainly.
doing actual things.
And nothing too multi, in fact. Like, almost nothing.
Nothing to multi, nothing to pro cyclist. Just like have this weird thing for career. Why not? As Leo is working hard to make sure his main sprinter does get through to that intermediate sprint.
Yeah, but it's difficult for Buani to really. I mean, he will need to win the intermediate sprint, and that neither John Vinos and Jose Pereira sprinters take any point.
Yeah, because he's 9 points behind them, right?
I mean, and I will be surprised if once this climb is over, both go all in this downhill to catch that group.
I mean, they will want to do that, of course, as if they don't, Leo will get into the points jersey. So we'll see what will happen as the Frank does take that KOM sprint.
Now I think, well, I mean it's 30 kilometers. I mean it's a long way to the intermediate. And you see,
Yes.
Jose is complaining a lot about the narrow road.
He is complaining about the game, not the players, which is something I appreciate. Blame the game, not the players.
Yeah, I mean, in those situations, you know always that even if you get the best positioning, you can get blocked somehow.
Vino and Jose both, of course, really good track players, know all about the blocks. and you
Well, you
experience
see,
them a lot
yeah, I
in road
mean,
as well.
Jose going with his sprinter now, and
Yep.
this is well, Fravo clearly not knowing what the race is about.
We have some breaking news. Mikel Landa has a broken collarbone and multiple ribs broken on his left side. So
Shame. It's a
nasty
shame.
crash. Yeah, just wanted to update as it just came out like 20 minutes ago. Maybe some didn't know.
Well, what I don't understand is Giombino basically is giving up on Laporte's green jersey.
Yeah, he definitely is, as he's letting Jose go.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe he just thinks there's no chance.
GG Jose.
This means Jose will take P1 and P2 for Leo Falandre, I guess, in the points classification.
No, because Leo needs to win the sprint anyway to overtake anyone.
Yeah, as Leo then stops pacing, of course, because he doesn't want to
And now
pace
Frabo
for
is
his Jose.
working. Not sure why.
Frabo.
I mean, not sure why him. I mean, but I think Frabo doesn't understand. Well, he just gone with
I'm guessing he
basically
wants.
everyone that was.
Well, I'm guessing he wants mountain points, but it's still a while
yeah,
until we're getting to those.
Yeah, but he got away really weirdly. I mean, he was just pushing, same as Dilly, and they got away from the group. I think Giombino now realizes that he can. Well, I think it's too late. I mean, Jose still has 3 riders here.
Not just accusing someone of team play.
Or just saying that is the reason that Leo isn't pacing, because that would, of course, just be good for Jose, not really for Leo.
Jose can stay and just sprint for P2. That would be enough for Jose to take the points classification.
Yeah, but he needs to get full points if possible.
Yes, but beating Leo is quite an advantage.
Well,
because if he does...
Buoni wins. Buoni wins.
Yeah.
Buoni wins the sprint, so Buoni 41 points. Sancho puts himself with 46. That's a 27 point gap over Pinot.
So I definitely think that may be enough.
Pinot will need to win both stages to make it to recover for Giombino the green jersey.
Yeah, it seems like he wanted to have the sprinter, so it was kind of actually a good decision to take the 82 sprinter. I wouldn't have thought that at the beginning. But just look at the chat, it's comedy gold. What's happening?
Yeah, I think Leo didn't want. I understand both points of view, but probably Leo isn't right. I mean, there was no way he would win the points jersey, considering that Jose could just finish.
Yeah, I see Leo's point there. So yeah,
I understand that he pays against him, not wanting him back in the group. But when they were together, Leo didn't work anymore.
Yeah, because
I mean, like he wanted to bunch it together, which is absurd, because he had this way he has taken second place in the sprint ranking.
Yeah, that's what he needed to do.
But if that came all together, he will have only taken third. Well, I guess that
I don't think Vino did anything there, no.
Yeah, I mean he was in the second group when they sprint, so, but I don't know who sprinted behind. I mean, in this screen doesn't look like he took points, but we all know this sprint screen is booked. I mean, Sancho got the 10 points here.
Well, I definitely
Well, basically
get the
the stage
point,
has
but
been very compromised by that intermediate sprint. Like we've had 100 kilometers only focusing in that intermediate sprint, and now
yeah. I mean, it was really important for the players because you do get a lot of points for winning the
yeah, of course. I
points
mean,
jersey.
Campos saw also DNF.
Giombino
Just
will regret a lot those lost points if he ends eliminated
Yeah.
for not either not caring or not realizing he will lose his jersey. Who's
I
in?
mean, he wasn't typing in chat, so maybe he doesn't care.
Well, Bravo is getting dropped somehow.
Yeah, he will get back.
Yeah, not paying full attention can do that. I remember playing multi for the first time, doing effort, and you just forget that, oh, I have to do the same effort as everyone else, or else I just get dropped.
Yeah, I had the
So,
same in classics. Just
yeah,
forgot. I was in another group and forgot the other one. It happens so fast. Like,
it's easy, especially if you have someone in the break as well as the peloton, as
yeah,
Frabo does.
yeah. It's hard to multitask these two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it comes like to the how you say, to the hilly part where the KOMs are. So I think Frabo will just try to. Does Frabo? No, Frabo doesn't even have the KOM in the Pozzo in the front group.
I don't think so because
No, he doesn't.
his rivals are not up front. So
Yeah, he just, I think, tries to like get maybe Domestique there. Doesn't have to relay in peloton.
Yeah, and maybe trying to get some points with his other riders to make sure no one else gets a lot of mountain points either.
I mean, he had like 22 points over Simon Yates. It was Simon Yates. Let me check. It was over Simon Yates. Yates. I know he took points in the second category climb. So maybe the gap now is like 15, 16 points. Not
Yes.
sure if Pozzovivo took points in climb. Doesn't look so.
Are there points on
Here,
the last stage for the KOM?
Not
On the time
not sure.
trial?
Not sure. But in
Yeah.
theory, I mean, it will be between 78 riders.
Yes, yes.
And
So
if everything goes,
it should be enough for
if
Pozzovivo.
if
Like,
things goes normal, it will be they will 8th place in a com doesn't
yeah.
get you points.
Yeah, if everything goes normal, Jose will win the sprint classification and Frabo will win the mountains classification. I
And I
think.
mean, the tank is really getting punished for not putting Yates in the breakaway on the first stage. We already see if it did that, he would be much closer in the KOM.
Yes, definitely. I think he did, but he was like never catching up to the really front to Frabo. Well, like he did a solo, so he didn't get back there.
Well, I mean, this
I
first
mean,
category
in the
climb.
first stage when he went with Cummings instead of Yates.
Oh, in the first stage, yeah, I can't
Yeah.
really remember, to be honest.
He went
Oh
with
yeah, I do. Yes,
yeah.
I know what you mean. Well, there
So
was only 7 points, so I don't
yeah,
know.
but I mean, those can definitely matter. If he is 16 points behind now,
Yes,
he
it
would
can,
have only
as
been
we
9.
see some big attacks, like Frabo has 4 guys in front now, and the tank has also 3
Yeah,
or even
basically,
more.
Bravo has all his team up front except the 2 climbers. No,
Yeah,
Valverde
he
is
goes
dead.
all in on the attack. And the tank too does the same. I think he wants to secure his chance to win the KOM somehow. Like he wants to try to get up in front.
Yeah, I mean,
And
he needs
get
to be
some
first
points.
in the pass the payroll climb.
Yes,
I
for
mean,
sure.
it's the
He
only
needs to
way.
win this. And the ones afterwards, maybe. But he has to be then the first one and maybe the second category afterwards and the third category afterwards. Then he will be caught. I think so. He needs to
Yeah,
get there somehow.
yeah. I mean,
It's a
and
big gap.
if he starts in the advance, there's no way he can beat Nibali, for example, in a sprint.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if Frabo will just try to make sure. Well, it's difficult because obviously the tank is going with 3 decent riders.
Yeah.
And probably has one kind of climber in Visconti, if you want to consider him a climber. So
Yeah, it's very weird that he doesn't have View up there. Maybe moved with
yeah,
the wrong
I
rider.
mean, maybe he thinks the KOM is over. I mean, it's secure, and is trying to set things up for the GC fight.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 points for once he wants to put someone up the road, so he can have the option to attack with his leader, and maybe secondly he tries to steal points from Yates. So because with the hill rider you have a better acceleration, so you can actually beat the rider. You can beat Yates, so maybe can steal a couple of points there even. These 2 points, I think.
I mean, he can only count that Dilly will take first and second in this climb for sure.
Yeah, he shouldn't relay too hard. Like he should relay, but he should
Yeah,
let
I don't
tank
think
some of
he's.
the work.
Well, I guess he's not thinking about KOM right now. If he was thinking, he will just not relate in this group.
Yeah.
I mean,
Looks like he's going pretty
I
hard.
think he's
Actually.
just trying to set up his 2 riders for an attack in Pass the Payola for Niva. I mean, I think it's the only real attacking point of the states.
Who's in E4? They're like 3 riders. Is that someone attack? Yeah, it's Jose actually.
Yeah, it's Jose with his 78 climber.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Tries
probably
to
trying to put him ahead to make sure he has that rider after Pass the Payola. I mean, because Pass the Payola looks quite difficult. I mean, it's not very long, but that black slope could do a big danger to a rider like Brandao, who only has 74 hills. And this second category climb after also has big slopes. Well, I completely missed. Well, looks like the tank took 3rd place in that comp because he was ahead of Bravo's riders.
Yeah, but that's not enough.
So
Like
that's 3 points if
Yeah.
my calculations are correct, and
mm,
it should be 13 points right now. The difference between Yates and Pochavivo.
yes, but it shouldn't be enough. Like he has to be up there for the first. How much do you get if you get third on the first career?
I mean,
6.
12 points in this climb. Right
Yeah.
now, I mean, I will assume that he can take 2nd place in this climb.
Yeah, he has to. He has to
at the
get
very
second
least. And
to
then he
secure.
will need to win the 2nd category climb here, and it will be enough for that. Because, well, one thing we are not considering is that Yates is only 1 minute behind in GC.
That's another point. Yeah.
I mean, he's virtual GC leader, right?
That's
Bravo
true,
is
but
riding really interestingly in the break. He's not protecting or anything.
So while he's in theory fighting only for KOM.
Yeah, but
Well, Frabo.
Why is Frabo pacing? Why is Frabo bringing Yates back to the front? Why? I don't get it. Why is he why is he pacing Yates back to the front? Like he has to keep Yates behind, basically. So he has to hope that Dinley holds on. Why is he pacing him back? I don't get it. Seems really weird.
Difficult to understand. Well, in general, Frabo is very difficult to understand.
Yeah, he is very, very aggressive, which is definitely good for the race itself. But his attacks seem interesting at times.
Yeah, I mean, if you look logically on it, like he knows he has Yates is coming. He can still catch the KM classification from Posto Vivo, so he has to try to let Dinley win, and then he paces till he has 1 rider less. Why is he sit on?
I think
don't know why.
The tank is making sure that Cummings pass this climb.
Yes,
Well,
but it doesn't.
There goes Jose attacking.
Oh, He's just
I
pacing, I
mean,
think.
no. I mean, you don't pace like this.
Yeah, that's true, but he couldn't make a gap.
Yeah.
For now.
I mean, but the setup of his attack, I mean, putting the lower hill rider ahead and that stuff makes sense for an attack. But
Yeah.
looks like Yates is going to take second place here.
Maybe Visconti's coming back. I don't know where he is.
He is in third.
No, he doesn't have the climbing abilities.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's very close for the people behind,
So
but
now should
Bravo
be
just takes it.
like 5 points or so.
But from now on, it's going to be difficult for Yates to take anything because the GC group is back.
Yeah,
basically.
but he can just. I mean, he only has to. Well, no, 5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Costa ahead, it's really a problem for. I mean, he will need to take second place in this climb. That could be possible. I mean, it's not. I mean, would make sense that he takes second place. I don't think anyone will sprint behind. Maybe Bocho Vivo, if he realizes that the KOM gap is close. Well, one thing we are Costa didn't have any compoints.
Yeah, it definitely has to come second to like stay in the game. I think he has to get some points afterwards, even so. I don't know if
Yeah,
did he.
I mean, in theory, will need to also
Then maybe.
take second place in called the Sere or whatever it's spelled.
Yeah. The thing is, if the GG gives points, he has still chances there if he beats Farbon.
Jomino goes.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
attacking
he goes
actually
hard.
with his main rider, as everyone is trying
Well,
to
for
follow.
I don't know what is he really.
Oh my god! Look at all the blocks.
Yeah,
These
small
narrow
road.
roads.
Yeah, I mean, kind of road, 12% slopes. Yeah, that will happen.
I mean, that is really good from Vino then, going early knowing that the road will be narrow and steep. Then he knows he won't be blocked.
Basically, Ferrabo is like 1 minute behind the leader right now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
So
there can
that
be
is
gaps
good
over the top.
recognition.
Well,
I think
I know he's
if you
dropped.
like go over the top, there can be gaps. Like Farbo's getting distance already. Pozzo Vivo, what is he doing?
Oh my god, he is
my God,
not
Farbo.
paying fully attention and having to use a lot of energy to jump back to the Pelton.
Playing so weird today. Like I didn't understand any of his of his moves. Basically, I don't really get it.
I mean, if he gets the mountain points, then or the KOM jersey, then he has something.
Well, Yates and Pochoivo dropped. So yeah, the con fight is over, and Bravo takes the con standing. Yeah, Yates is dead. That's over for that.
Yes, it seems like who is it? Farbo wins at least a KOM. That's some good points. So if he can like move up on a decent place in GC, like
well, I mean,
fourth,
he's fourth in GC with Nibali because he took those 3 bonus seconds in
yeah,
the first
like
stage.
fourth would be enough at that point. Maybe he took some. He didn't took stage points though. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's potentially dangerous.
So maybe fourth is enough. Fourth or third he needs to be, I think, in GC.
It's going to be incredible if those 3 bonus seconds he got early will matter.
Remember that
but it's still long to go. It's still long to go.
Time trial after this, so whatever you get now, it's difficult to predict that you will keep.
The Coldez is definitely a difficult stage.
I don't really think we'll see, but I don't really think the time trial in the final stage really works in online.
It's a difficult one. I have seen some guys ride it before and lose 40 seconds like nothing.
But what I mean, the play style that forced the group.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're probably more focused on not lose any time than trying to win time.
I mean, if you have the guts to do it, then It would be nice to go for the win, but yeah, preserving energy and making sure you don't lose too much is a smart tactic as well. I find on mountain stages, as you can just if you just spend most of your energy in the last kilometer or so, you can gain a lot of time on others who does not have energy at the end. So will be interesting to see what the players choose to do.
Yeah, I think there can be some gaps on the stage. Like, it's so steep towards the end, so even the wet will matter. Like, I don't think anyone will die, but I think there could be some gaps, like spending the wet. So maybe 3 to 4 seconds, like only small ones, but maybe they matter in the end.
And
You have to be upfront.
these last climbs here, they aren't that steep, so I don't think there will be many gaps here unless someone has a lot more energy than someone else.
Well,
So we'll see.
The
Steep
blocks will be
climb
insane.
after a tight corner. Now Fravo looks to be on the racing.
Yeah, you have to be up there. Jose still with 3 riders, that's also a good performance.
Roy will get smaller, I think, here.
Yeah.
Everyone going 99 looks like.
Yeah, I think you want to be at the front of the last climbs because I think it will be narrow road as well. So you want to be at the front of that climb.
A question: will you have a shot at winning the TT of Nice Col d'Elez, the last stage, with your 78 guy because of the TT stat that he has, very very high, or there is no flat part on that TT?
There,
Well, I mean,
I don't think
the
there
climb
is
itself
any flat
isn't
part
very hard.
actually.
I mean, we talk about that,
Yeah.
but not in the win the states, but more of that if the 78 rider had an advantage in GC,
Mm-hmm.
like at one point Pocholivo looked in the second stage,
Yeah.
and he could reach the stage with some 2-3 minutes until Fravo attack in the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
understand.
I don't know. I haven't tested. So
Anyway,
I'm not sure
Pozzo Vivo is no longer here anyway, so.
That
Yeah,
is
But you
true.
can see there are many with 2 riders, so it seemed like it would have been possible to survive with him, like only losing 1 minute maybe. But that's not the case right now because
but look,
it's over.
no one has the 78 climber.
Yeah, that's true. That it's only the hill riders, so
I mean,
maybe also not. It would have
I
been
guess-
interesting. We can say it would have been interesting.
Well, I mean,
to see.
the low hill stat kills that rider in this.
Yes,
I mean,
Yeah.
you see
definitely.
why Jose attacked before trying to make a move
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
past the period.
But I think that's a pretty well chosen stage, like from the organizers. It was so fun. Like the whole stage was full of action and high pace, so
Yeah,
it was perfect
but,
stage for me.
I mean, but I think having the time trial after kind of makes these states less relevant because you don't really want to go all in like a stage like this should in theory promote.
Yeah, sadly,
Because
it's like
because you still have the time trial after, so
As
Yeah.
you're like, well, maybe I can win it in the time trial.
we're getting to the finish now with Nacho still having 2 riders. His
No,
helper
he
died right
doesn't have
there.
anymore. Well, Dilly taking up the front, and well, basically, I mean, he's going like
All in a
faster than anyone.
line, of course.
Yeah, and Jose is going to finish very bad in the.
Nacho going to the front.
What?
And Nacho goes early.
Antunes?
Jose has a huge
Jose goes
kick.
early. It's too early, I think. Is it too early?
Oh my god, it
No.
was not too early
No, no,
as
He goes all the way.
takes
Oh
it.
my God.
Perfect.
That was
Well,
perfectly
Yep.
written there.
That was insanely good.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
I mean, I thought that he had been too badly placed. I mean, he was like he was not in parallel with the other riders, with like 700 meters to go. But,
Yeah, that was well played
But,
by Jose. I thought he would have fucked himself because he went like first by 1 second maybe, but he could hold it all the way, so he had the most red left before. Pretty
Leo
impressive.
definitely still has the GC though, as he finishes second.
Yeah,
and he had
with
seconds
this
to go.
you can now guarantee that Jose and Leo are going through, unless some time trial disaster, which I highly doubt from any of them.
Which of these riders do you guys think are the best at time trials in general?
Well,
Hard
I
to
would
predict.
say that
Leo, probably.
yeah, obviously Leo Jose is knows how to do time trials. Well, I would say the worst probably is Frabo.
Yeah, but because it's a Mountain TT, the cornerback, like the corner cheat or back, I don't know how to call it, won't really matter. You're on that slow speed that you can't like get an advantage with it.
Well, I think there's one in the first kilometer.
None of these guys were in the time trial final, at least, so it's going to be close, I feel like.
So
let me interrupt you really quick. We have already final results from Group B, including the time trial that was won by Swaxin. So in that case, David takes general classification with Piero second, Flynn third, Toinu fourth, Swaxin fifth, Guilherme sixth, and Slomi seventh. I think the people that pass will be Swaxin because he wins sprint classification. And no, I'm not sure. At least Davi passes for sure. Cannot say about the others still. Probably Piero, but he did really bad on the secondary classification, so not sure. So I will, when we have final data, I will interrupt you again and tell you.
Sounds good. I just looked now, and Davi looked really good, as he always does. An amazing player, I would have to say. Definitely one of the favorites to win the whole thing.
So before the time trial, we have Leo with 10 seconds over Jose. Then Dilly has climbed to third place in GC with his third place in the States. He's now tied with Nacho. 1 second behind them was Frabo. And 4 seconds behind were the Tank and John Bino. So everything for these States. In the fight for third place in GC.
Yeah, I mean, I think first two are said, like neither Jose or Leo will lose like 16 or 26 seconds. Like the first two, I think, are through, and it's like about the fight for the third place. Like for third, there will still be four guys.
I doubt that there are more than 5 second gaps in this. I mean, probably enough gaps that maybe the Tank or John Bino could recover, but not much.
Yeah, I mean, I think for everyone can still get third, like the other four. It's only 4 seconds gap, so every one of these four can get third still, and that's important. Like, I think you have a good chance to get to the next one if you get further.
Oh, this Coldes is a difficult one to ride, as it's almost uphill the whole way, as we can see here, and it flattens out at the end.
Yeah.
As Guy mentioned, that's when the 78 mountain guy can do something.
So that's why the 78 mountain guy might compete for the stage win, but unlikely.
And I do think our players will focus on the main leaders, of course.
Obviously, that's true too.
Yeah.
One corner actually, like the really first one, I think, at the really start, at the really beginning.
Where you have getting started.
Where you have to do something. You can easily lose like 4 to 5 seconds there if you don't do it right. To someone who does it right.
I have never known how to do these corners, as I've heard they're an exploit in these time trials.
We'll confirm that Davi, Piero, and Swaxon go through. Flynn is fourth and Toino fifth.
That's interesting.
Okay, so first 78 guys, that's Brandao. I don't know if it's too fast or whatever.
See, Swexen is getting through with fifth
Guy,
NGC and
can
no
you tell us
points.
if
Wow.
if the 78 climbers in instruction group could fight for the stage win?
Let me see.
Sure, let me tell.
Yeah, I'm just calling up right now. Where is it? Not there. There. No, that's the one. Fuck.
Um, let
Well,
me see.
so let's go to the favorites. Froome is starting the time trial.
Yeah, the tank has to
The
move
one winning
up
was Chris
here.
Froome for Swaxon, so no, it was
Okay,
82.
John Bino
Stage
going
2.
through this corner. Frabo is not. Nacho going through. Edgar Pinto of Dilly.
Oh, he did that corner really well, as
I mean,
Jose also does.
you can really see that the three top riders in GC did the best corner. So
Yeah,
probably
definitely.
they will finish in the same order.
As we said before the stage, Jose and Leo are really good on time trials, as Dinley may also be that. He looked good there, at least.
I mean, at the very least, even if he's I mean, they are doing very different tactics.
Oh yeah, Jose is going really
Jose
hard right
has,
at the beginning.
well, I mean, but Jose is doing a different tactic than everyone else.
Yeah, Leo is not going as hard.
Yep. We'll see.
As Froome is
See that we have different
heading to the
tactics.
first.
At least. It's nice to
Well,
see.
that's interesting. I mean, probably.
Mm.
Well, Froome takes the lead into the intermediate sprint, of course.
Yeah, I think Vino.
Pinot 4 seconds behind.
Right behind. I think
Now
Frabo will
comes
be behind
Frabo
as well.
at
Yep.
5 seconds. Now
Nacho
will
also
come
behind,
Diaz.
I believe.
13
Yeah.
seconds, a lot of time.
Ooh,
I mean, look, like Jose is slowing down now, but he takes the lead
he's
by
going
a
to
lot.
lead.
So
Yeah, 10 seconds. Leo
Well,
is going
that's
to be
fast.
a little
Leo,
behind.
9 seconds behind. So let's look for. I mean, probably like he tried to go all in the first part that was the hardest of the climb.
Yeah.
And in the flattest part, he went. Well, this is a corner.
I don't think it influences the speed really much.
Well,
as well as this one.
Froome
Okay,
takes
let's
it.
see.
yeah, I mean,
Let's see. Now that's interesting. Come on.
I think Vino will be
wow,
behind for sure.
Pinot loses
Yeah.
27 seconds. Wow.
7 seconds.
Vino
13
is
seconds
definitely
Nibali.
out, I would say.
Dilly wins. Well, wins. Takes the lead.
I think Jose will
Oliveira
be in
wins.
front. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think
really
Jose
good.
Oliveira wins the States.
1 second in front of Leo.
Well, but,
Wow. My God.
that
But
was
it doesn't matter. I
really
think both players are through for sure. Will be interesting to see who
Well,
the
now,
third one will be.
Yeah, I mean, the order in GC will be Pink, third will be Dilly, fourth will be the
Dilly.
tank.
Yeah. And
I
then
think the
Nacho.
tank has a chance to qualify, but we'll see.
I think Dinley's through. And Frabo, I think the KM jersey is not enough as he only gets 6th in GC.
I mean, the tank did well in Mountain Jersey, as you can see here. So
Yeah,
maybe, but
I mean,
he didn't have
results.
good stage
Like,
results.
I can't remember stage results from him.
Yeah, it will be close for third one. It will be close for third position in GC at least. We can say that.
Well, 1-2 in points for.
Yeah, Jose has number 1
Jose.
and number 2 in points. That's impressive.
And Leo number 3 and number 4.
Yeah.
So, but third place points. Well, probably will come down to stage points that I think will slightly favor Dilly. So I think Dilly will be the one going through in this group as third.
It does look likely, but will not confirm anything until it's definite, of course.
Alright, we're gonna check. First stage was John Bino, Jose, Leo, Nacho, the tank. Second stage was Leo, Jose, Nacho, John Bino, Dilly. Third stage was Jose, Leo, Dilly, Frabo, the tank. And fifth stage was no, there was no fourth stage. Sorry, Jose, Leo, Dilly, the tank. Yeah, I think Dilly has better stage results, better GC placing, better. I mean, he has a at least he's in the green jersey standings. He will take fourth, as the two riders from these guys will get deleted. And well, the tank takes second in combat. I'm afraid that's not enough to overtake it. And well, basically, Jombino is clearly out. Nacho doesn't have any secondary classifications results. Was kind of irrelevant. I mean, he took third in the stage, but
I think we have results in Group A.
I mean, they're
It's
not.
no it's not
they're-
official, but
Yeah.
in
Do
there
we
it
trust
is.
Joe is the question.
Well, the first three are pretty clear. So it was even said before. So I think Joe, Whiteley, Kingmaker, and Pierre are through, because like the gap is so big to the other ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, these three are through. He won't count one for like 62 points. That's too much. Like the Pierre, Kingmaker, and Joe Whiteley are through in this group.
As I believe we'll be moving towards interviews soon now. For whoever wants one.
Group C will clearly reschedule as they still have 3 stages to go at this
3
point.
stages.
What the fuck?
They crossed again, or what?
Yep.
Wow. That's really
Yeah.
tough.
I think Group C may have to reschedule as it's pretty late to do 3 stages now.
They crashed on the third stage, both times 10 before the line. Wow. I would be so pissed. Oh my god.
They crashed in the second stage, not the first stage.
Oh, what was it, the second one? Okay, then the second one. Sorry. But it's insane. Yeah, we have results for our group. It's unofficial, but we have Leo and Jose Pereira going through, and apparently Dinley gets third.
Yeah, I mean, as we
Thanks.
thought, I mean, the tank didn't have enough points to offset the GC difference.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, if Bravo had been fourth in GC, neither he would have qualified. I mean, you can see there was a very big difference. Lefolandri 245 points, Jose 220, and then Dilly 96 points. I mean, I think that's the lowest third place player that I've seen in all World Champions in a tour group.
As there were no big surprises in our group, I would say Dinley maybe did a little bit better than expected, but Leo and Jose both are true, as Jose does get his revenge after going
Well,
out
I mean,
in inline.
I mean, while you had Leo and Jose as the clear superior players in this group,
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
Bravo is good, but is very unpredictable. So
Yeah, as we saw.
you will never bet on him to qualify. And to be honest, the other three, the Tank, Nacho, and Jombino, are not anywhere close to top players. So
it was close
I mean,
behind.
so it's not a big surprise that Dilly qualifies.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have easily getting eliminated, but in my opinion, it's not a big surprise.
He did well. But I think I was really impressed by Jose in that last stage doing maybe the opposite that everyone else was and winning the TT with his Sky going super hard at the start and slower at the end.
Well, what he's saying that he miscalculated the energies or something. So
Yeah, I mean, he
So
caught up to the
maybe
leader in
so
front of
maybe
him.
it was
So
not the ideal strategy. Well, I mean he won it, so in theory
but
was better
maybe if he
than
did
Leo's
it in the perfect way, he would
strategy.
have won even more.
Yeah, probably.
But Leo, of course, doing well as well.
Well, I mean I guess
He
he
didn't have
didn't.
any bad finish, I
I
believe.
mean when you try hard the time trial, I mean you have to, in theory to consider that you will have less bars than in a one race mode.
Yeah.
After 3 stages. So that's where, I mean, that's the only thing that can be interesting about this, because you can fully try hard with the same race conditions.
Yeah, and that's maybe where his miscalculation came in, as he probably did the
Yeah, I mean,
stage on
for
full
example,
power.
Leo Valander is also saying in the chat the same thing, that he was too cautious.
Yeah, he went too late.
Yeah.
As we could see there, he probably had a lot of energy left.
Well, we'll never know. I mean, they probably won't care too much.
No, they got through easily, so I think they're fine.
I'm trying to get some for the interview if someone to come, of course,
Yeah.
and because I always find it funny, like, to hear from the players, because we got, of course, the results, but not like how the stages went and stuff. Always interested to know
I've
that.
gotten confirmation that Tim Soski will at least come in for an interview, which will be nice as always. Just waiting for him. And of course, it would be nice to get someone from our group as well. Hello, there came a lot of people at once. I think we'll do Swagson at the beginning. Swagson, you got through. You got through quite easily in the end. How did you feel it went today?
I mean, may have flopped stage 2, but if you don't flop the other 3 stages, you go through. Big brain. Nah, in all seriousness, like the first stage, like, I did a really good sprint. I saw there's some people who left their 82 sprinter behind, which sounds like a them problem, to be honest. And to be honest, I executed that sprint absolutely perfectly. Give it another 100 meters, and I would have been even further ahead. So all good. Second stage played way too aggressive, lost time. Although probably lost a lot less time, but some Portuguese guy decided, yeah, I don't fancy taking a relay one bit.
Yeah,
Stage,
we heard you lost like 2 minutes there, right? Something like that.
yeah, it was like 2 minutes. I just went too aggressive, but essentially like I just played it too aggressively, and at what cost? I think I might have taken a relay too long, which did not help. But then I just thought, what I thought in my head, I knew was that if I can win 3 stages, I can put myself in with a decent shout. And then it's come to my attention that if I win the points jersey, go for the points jersey with Dan McClay, I could really increase the chances. Stage 3, like, I don't want to say unorthodox, but I made the decision to go and drop my 70 map, like my TT guy, the 83 TT man, and go for Dan McClay in the intermediate sprint, get like those points which secured it. That was all good. And then, simply put, I just then decided to go for the stage. Like I thought if I try too hard, I'll probably blow myself. When Davy did attack on the final climb, I thought it could be in tatters, my chances. But it turns out I saved my red good enough. I did, and took that. And then I thought, I'm trial, and my first thought was, please don't be not headwind, tailwind. Please do not be tailwind. And luckily there was like no wind, and delivered. I mean, I literally did the same as Jose. I did. Like, apparently he miscalculated, went too early.
Yeah.
I literally did the same thing. so I was having to like go like.
I mean, you both won in the end, so
Yeah,
it
maybe
ended
it was,
up being all right.
maybe it was a strategy after all. Maybe myself and Josie actually found a tactic that actually works that we
That
did
may
not need
be.
to.
As you didn't really finish close enough in the GC, as you said, you lost a lot of time on stage 2, but winning 3 out of 4 stages is a big accomplishment as well.
It's insane.
Did you think that was possible before you started today?
I knew going through my mind like my game plan went completely on stage. Like the first thing I had to do was win stage 1. Like that was the main aim, which I did. Stage 2 was not in the plan book. My plan was to win that in stage 2, somewhat controlling stage 3, but maybe let a couple of people go out, and then try to win this time on stage 4. And I knew at that point I would be through. In the end, what it took in the end was a flop in stage 2, and more calm in like stage 3. Like Guy tried to attack with 3 riders. Look, he can try all he wants, but at that point, as soon as he made the move, I had to go with it. And then yeah, we did have a brief split, but he then decided to block his own riders. So congratulations. And then in the end, I just had the energy, and I saved enough red to go for it. I think 3 stages I thought was doable, and once I had 2 and 3 stages, I was actually fairly confident. I had a great chance. So in the end, once it took 3 stages, and not 2 as I intended, I still got that job done.
I mean, you went against really good players as well. It's maybe easy to forget that when you're in the moment, but Davi, Piero Chacha, Flynn, Toinu, all great players, and you won 3 stages. Congratulations, man.
Incredible level.
Yes.
Yes.
That was. I mean,
Congratulations.
to be fair, GG to Davi for that like second stage. Like he played it like absolutely superbly. He did, saving like his last domestique like better than everyone else. Like, and he made like the first move. That was literally I couldn't do much because my energy was in the mud.
Yeah, but you did get through in the end. Thank you so much, and
Thank
good
you.
luck. Before you go, what are your goals for tour? Do you have any goal in particular?
I think I've just got to look at the stages, see what I can do. Obviously now there is no time trial, so I can't just rely on 3 stage wins.
Yeah,
I
of
don't.
course.
I think I'm going to have to look and see what I can do. Maybe like and just see what group I end up in. And to be honest, because once I know, I can then decide what sort of plan I can go in with.
Congratulations for me as well. Like 3 out of 4
Cheers.
stages is awesome in this kind of competition.
Cheers, guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we can move on to the next one. I think
yeah.
who was waiting the longest? Maybe we continue with Whiteson, with Joe Whiteley. He was there for the longest, I think.
He and Tuan got in together, but we can go
Oh
with
yeah,
Joe.
we
Sure,
can just go. Tron isn't finished anyways.
that's true. Hey, Joe.
Hey guys.
You dominated, I would say, today. 230 points. That is incredibly impressive. Not winning as many stages as Swagson, but dominating GC, winning KOM. How did you feel it went today?
Very, very good. I honestly thought I could be going out today. Looking at the group was very, very, very good. And even when one of the players couldn't turn up, we got Kingmaker, who's arguably better than Fefe, who was unfortunately not here today.
Yeah.
So that didn't make anything easier either. But yeah, the first stage was tragic. Luckily, Tim Soski wins to keep up the British sprinting trend, but the second and third stage, I mean, me and Gabby, we tried a few times to attack, but you know when you just have that feeling in the lobby where it's just not going to be that type of day, so I just kind of like sat it in, waited around a little bit, tried a couple more attacks. Nothing was doing. And then I think Pierre, who sat on pretty much the whole stage in stage 2, went off the front, and then yep, he was gone. And then there was quite a lot of lag in the last 2 kilometers. I thought I crushed at first, but yeah, I don't know what happened there. And then next thing I know, after my game's like stopped freezing, I've caught up to Pierre, but unfortunately I'm dead. So even though there's no time gaps, I didn't get the station, unfortunately. Stage 3, very interesting. I mean, I think a lot of people realised that they could probably go for the KOM with their leader and then still have enough energy for the last climb, because it wasn't as hard. There was quite a lot of descending in stage 3 cover. So yeah, I tried to solidify my KOM. Dembele tried a nice team attack, but it wasn't to be. It was way too organized behind. I thought, even though today I wasn't playing like amazing, I thought what I did do very well was play the, as some players call it, the politics game. Excuse me. The politics game in PCM, which is essentially just trying to round up everyone, say, hey, come on, you guys are probably not going to survive the next climb. Let's work on this little bit of flat, and try to get everyone to work. To be honest, I don't feel bad doing that, because when you've got a climber with like 70 hills, he's not going to survive, 3 kilometers at like 8%. So you may as well use him on the flat, because he is actually a sprinter. That's what he's good at. So I don't feel bad doing that, but it can really change the complexion of the game. And we managed to reel in a very, very dangerous attack from Gabby and Pierre. They both had their teams up front, and we managed to reel in, I think, around a minute and a half. There was me, Tinsowski, Kingmaker was doing a little bit of relaying, Raoul as well. And really, it was free energy, because we weren't going to need these sprinters in the last 30, 40 kilometers of the stage. So it made sense for us all to work together and catch this very dangerous break. I reckon if we didn't work, those two would have taken the GC. So it was crucial that we all got together, and because, like I said, your sprinter, sure, he might survive a little bit, but he's not going to play a big role. When you've got 4 other teammates, the 5th teammate really isn't going to be a big deal. So it's worth to just use the flat, because that's where you can make up the time. And then in stage 4, the time trial, obviously there's a couple of small turns, twisting turns. So you had the usual suspects. You had the French trio, Pierre, Gabby, and Kingmaker, beast in the time trial. I managed to actually, I wouldn't say like really surprise myself, because I did a couple of attempts of the time trial, and I felt like I was okay, but to manage to hang on in the lead when Kingmaker was only 1 second behind me in GC, to hang on against such a good time trialist in Kingmaker, and obviously Gabby and Pierre. I was really, I think out of all the stages, I think that stage shows how much I've improved I think myself in time trials, because I think I mentioned it in the Discord chat. I said, if this was last World Cup, or if this was 3 months ago, I would have actually lost the GC comfortably on that stage. Because instead of finishing, with those guys, I would have finished like 40, 50 seconds down. That's what drawing. So yeah, I think out of all the stages, I'm definitely most impressed with that time trial, and then just the general management of the race. Not panicking, not closing every gap. Obviously, you have to do your own turns, because you can't just sit there the whole race and expect to get towed along. But knowing when to do your efforts, knowing when to chase, knowing when to sit in, knowing when to maybe try go into the attack. I think that part of my game today was probably the best aspect, along with obviously the performance in the time trial. But I think I did misjudge a couple of stages, as you saw with the first, second, and third.
Yeah.
I did misjudge a couple of the finals there.
But I think the important part is that you didn't lose a lot of time on any stage. You kept
Mhm.
in the front group pretty well on all the stages, and that's what counted in the end. And
Yeah.
not losing any time on Kingmaker on the last stage, as you said, that is really impressive for maybe someone who doesn't practice as much as the French does on those time
Definitely, yeah.
trials.
Yeah.
What's your goal now going to the semifinals in Tour and
We're down to 6 players in each group, of course, so that's going to
yeah.
make it a little bit more tactical because there's not 7 players. In 7 players you might have the odd person who might relay for you, whereas in 6 that person disappears, so it's now you're going to have to do that relay. Um, even though it's only one player, the difference between 6 and 7, I don't know what it is. There's just such a weird difference and weird vibe away the way you ride together. I don't know what it is. I can't explain. But the way you ride with 7 players, you get a lot of mass sprints. You get a lot of mountain sprints. Everyone normally tends to stick together. You get very little successful solo attacks. With 6, it turns on its head. You get so many of those, excuse me, decisive solo attacks where everyone's looking at each other and you just get that one person who shoots off the front and he's gone.
Do you
You
feel
get that
like
a
you're
lot.
better in those groups when there are fewer players?
No, I would definitely fancy myself being able to stick around because I trust my sprint at the end. So I think for me, arriving in a group of 6 or 7 into the last 2 or 3 kilometers, I think that definitely suits me more. I'll definitely have to adapt to my playstyle. I've never been in a tour semi-final in the World Cup, so
I
it's a
mean,
first for me.
you've shown you're a great player, so I definitely think yeah, you can prove that you really are
Yeah,
now.
I'd like to think so, yeah. But yeah, I'll have to adapt to my game 100% to try get into the final.
It's
It'll be
always
interesting to see
scary
how it goes.
seeing Joe Whiteley in the multiplayer lobby. So I bet those guys in PCM World Cup do feel that as well as you've done really well, I would say. So
Thank you.
congratulations on getting through, and good luck towards the
Thank you.
future.
And awesome commentary tonight as well.
What did you say?
Awesome commentary tonight as well
Oh, thank you.
on the stream.
You got in here and there. So I think we'll move on. Tuan, do you want an interview on, or are you just here to listen? I think
mean, there's not much to tell, is there? We played one
I
stage.
know. Yeah.
Everyone was sleeping until Grozzi was like, "Hey guys, Pogacar is in the breakaway, the 78 Mountain of Shadow," and the breakaway had 7 minutes at that point. Yeah, so we like tried to close that. He still had 6 minutes at the finish line. The first attempt, I played, I think, amazing PCM, and as Joe just said, I played like he talked about politics, and I played the best politics I have ever seen in PCM. It was amazing. I didn't even have to look at my riders because like there was no bars to manage, so I was just looking at the group behind, and I was telling everyone if one person wasn't relaying, and then I was talking to everyone that was relaying when they were going up a mountain. So it was truly brilliant, and I had a little fun doing it, and then the game crashes.
Yeah, as I think your group will be rescheduled, but it always feels bad when that happens. Of course, as I heard someone were in the lead when that happened,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I had passed all the tops of the mountains with my leader. So I had KM, I had locked up. Probably had second as well with my domestique if I tried on the third stage, and I was gonna win the stage with at least a minute.
yeah,
But
that definitely sucks. But like I mentioned on the in the commentary, sadly you can't just say like, oh, let's stop the stage there and take the time gaps because anything can happen, of course, as you
Yeah,
know as well. But I hope you get rescheduled not too far in the
yes.
future, so
It's also, I must
it's
say,
finished.
very annoying when like we already played like a second try and where it also crashed with 9k to go on the exact
Yeah.
same spot, and people change their play style so significantly that it's just not even fun anymore to play.
Yeah.
Well, all we can see is now go. You will do it in the next try. Like when it gets rescheduled, just go for it, and you'll. I know you can play. You can play really good. I'm in your team and we see, so you can do it and go to the semis, even without that
Sure.
stage win. You can do it. You can do it. I trust in you. Of course, it sucks, but
Yeah.
you're a strong
Nah,
enough player
it's
that you
just-
can do it again. Like,
No, I mean it's
all the
really
best.
annoying because the first stage,
Yeah,
the
it's
first
annoying.
time we
Of
play
course.
it, it's everything goes perfect. Everyone does what they're supposed to do, which is just rat against each other. And then no one is bringing anyone else back. No one is ruining their own chances to ruin mine. And then on the second stage, Benjong is just playing against me. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's incredibly annoying. I can imagine. It's like it's PCM. PCM is stupid. PCM does stupid things. Like
As we did mention on the broadcast as well, let's hope Cyanide works on the online lobbies, but will they? We'll
we
see.
didn't talk about it, not at all. Not a
As
single
as
second.
Swagsons finds that hilarious as I
Cyanide
get on
lobby, absolutely in the mud.
We'll see, man. We'll see. But thank you,
We have
Twan.
one
Good
left.
luck on your rescheduled.
Good luck.
Hope you'll
Good
get
luck.
to play well before next Thursday. As I think we'll move on now to PCM celebrity Team Soski. How are you, man?
Hello guys, how are you guys doing?
We're
Fine.
fine.
Good.
You did not get through today. You did not shock the world once again. Can you take us through your stages?
Well, I mean, I came in very, very unprepared, and I actually didn't even realize that we had a TT at the end until I checked halfway through stage one, and I thought I'm in trouble and I'm not winning the GC because I knew I needed to have practiced that TT. So from that point, I thought I'll have to go outside the box and try something else. I won the first stage in a sprint, which was, I guess, quite lucky in some respects because it was quite a narrow road and there was some blocking, but I put myself in a good position at the front of the group, so that was a nice start. But yeah, I went into the mountains thinking I had to try and go outside the box somehow, and yeah, obviously that caused me to lose time on the first stage, and then the second mountain stage, I went all in with an attack later on, and it didn't pay off. So yeah, it was fun. It was a fun lobby, very good players, but not to be today.
Didn't seem like it as yeah, too bad losing time there and not practicing on that last stage. I mean, you seem like a busy person. Are you a busy person? Not having time to do too much preparing.
I mean, I've been doing a lot of Giro related stuff, which is causing me issues right now with preparation for this event. But hopefully it won't hamper me so much in the inline event. I'm hoping. But yeah, obviously it put me back today, and I think I'd have struggled anyway. The competition in the group was very good, like I said. So yeah, I'm not too shocked or surprised I went out tonight. Put it that way.
I mean, the odds makers definitely wouldn't be either, as they keep putting you with super high odds. But I definitely wish you the best of luck in inline, and also the best of luck in your roller pieces. I've read some of them; they're great, so I do recommend viewers checking them out as well. So thank you for being here today, and good luck in inline.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it, guys. See you soon.
See ya.
See you.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Lovely joke.
Cheers.
As that
As with
for
food, I think.
everyone, yeah.
Yes.
I could say thank you everyone for watching today. It's been a nice day. Quarterfinals of Tour is almost done. Still have Group C to go. Of course, pay attention in the World Cup Discord for the results there, as well as there'll be a stream there as well. I would guess.
Yes. Probably.
And yeah, thank you so much for watching. This has been
Yeah.
Morty, Failed Pixel, and Aquarius bringing you the World Cup.
Yeah, I
We'll see
guess we
you-
had a pretty interesting night today, so I hope you will all join in for the next one, whatever it will be. I think it's some team events next. But yeah, it was an amazing evening.
Yes,
I had fun at it.
I can say that the next broadcast will probably be on. Let me check here. On Friday, and then we will have semifinals for team road inline. That'll definitely be exciting. See which national teams get to the finals there, and good luck to those participating there. I don't know if Swags and Joe, if you guys are participating on Friday, are you?
Is it
Yeah, we'll
inline
be.
semi-final? Yep.
Yes,
It's
inline
inline.
semifinal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
both it's team
I-
inline.
Yeah, I think we should be.
We should be there.
Maybe even a Tim Soski. Who knows?
Maybe a chief,
Maybe a
maybe.
team
But
coffee.
we're not going to give anything away.
Yeah.
I
Keep
mean,
an eye.
you Brits have been dominating inline on solo, so I expect you to do very well.
Professional
Hope so.
pro cycling stats sponsored lineup. Nathan Goodall, or Charlie Chu, and another one.
We'll Tyler.
Yeah, Will Tyler as well.
No,
PCS
we'll
sponsor.
tire. Just don't put the ER at the end there, because then you have not finished his last name like he doesn't finish most of his projects.
This is 100% the true lineup. There's no changes, and if there will be, you will just shout at them. So I'm looking forward to see WT 25, and I hope you will be there, everyone.
Yes,
Yes.
Some guy named John.
Yes, I will just
Always.
say again, thank you for our viewers for being here. We can continue to chat after the stream, of course, but thank you for watching, and we'll see you Friday.
Yeah.